What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Taj. Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year to you guys. Happy 2020. Today's video is going to be the best of beauty for 2019. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first palette that I'm gonna go ahead and mention that I absolutely loved in 2019, and it's gonna be the Revolution palette, Makeup Revolution, with the, well, let's see, what was this? It was the Makeup Revolution and Emily Noel Edit Wants palette. So there was two palettes released that this last year with this collaboration. There was the Wants and I think the Needs palette. I didn't get the Needs palette. I didn't feel like that fit me, but the Wants palette, which is right here, was awesome. So let's open up the inside. This is probably one of the largest palette purchases, if not the largest palette purchase I made last year in terms of size. So as you can see, these are stunning colors. I just love this palette. It just had a lot of fun colors that I personally normally don't see in a palette. So I really like this one and I got great use out of it. I created one of my most favored and loved looks with that one. Next up is going to be the Deuce palette by Juvia's Place. This is the outside of the packaging. It is gorgeous packaging, which is very consistent with Juvia's Place packaging. And here is the inside of the palette. It is so pretty. These are very pastel-y colors, but you get this pop of chocolate down here. You get this great warm brown shade to kind of neutralize some of these very pastel colors. But I love colors like this and I am prone to wearing them all year long, and they really complement my skin tone. This particular shade right here, which is called Mont Blanc, this one here, it is so beautiful. I love it so much. So that's one. Continuing on with drugstore, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump directly into the Profusion palettes. I have two of them here. I have two right here, these guys. I have the Profusion Mattes palette. Really love the Mattes palette. This is, I think, my only all matte palette. So it has just about every matte shade I would want in this particular palette. I think it is lovely. And next up, we have the Sultry palette. This one had some beautiful shimmers in it, and so that's what attracted me to it. These palettes are extremely reasonable, about $10 between, let's see, Target or Walmart. I don't know who else sells them, but that's where I got mine, from Target. Makeup Revolution again released a really gorgeous palette last year that I loved it. It was the Reloaded Marvelous Mattes palette. The packaging looks like that, and as you can see, the colors are lovely. Oops, almost dropped it. So beautiful. These are all mattes and so much fun. Just a burst of color, nicely pigmented. Next up are three ColourPop palettes that made it into my 2019 favorites. We are looking at the Baby Got Peach palette. Super cute. I love this palette. It is gorgeous. I just picked this one up and quickly fell in love with it. As you guys know, or you have maybe figured out by now, I love these types of shades, these peach, very whimsy type palettes and shadows. Love them. It's always going to be something that I gravitate towards. They look best on my skin tone. Next up is the California Love palette. Super gorgeous. Looky cookie. It is so pretty. Love these as well. These glitters in here are so gorgeous. I mean, so gorgeous. The ColourPop Street Dream palette. This is Kathleen Lights and ColourPop's collaboration. This is one of her many. And this is my favorite actually so far. I really like this one. I think it has some gorgeous neutrals in there. The pops of peach and coral and the even fun pops of blue just really bring this palette to life for me, and I love it. The pigmentation is there on ColourPop palettes and you just can't beat it. My last drugstore palette is gonna be from Morphe. This one I just fell in love with. It is a 3-pan palette. It is very small, very compact, easy to travel with. Look at that. I mean, just super cute, very tiny, and just great neutral. Next up is going to be a palette that came from my subscription that I had with Deck of Scarlet. This was the number 14 palette, and this is what the outside of the palette looks like. There's a gorgeous gal on the front. I don't remember who this palette was co-created with. Let's see. I don't see her name anywhere on here. Yeah, I don't see her name. Either way, this is a great palette. I love the look of it. And like I said, it's the number 14 palette. But when you pop it open, I'm going to be very careful because it's actually broken. It came broken. So I'm going to be super, super careful with it. And I'm not going to take the protective barrier off because I don't want it to fall out everywhere. But I did want to show it to you guys. You have two lip colors on this side. And then you have a bronzer or blush shade depending on your complexion. And then over here you have a highlighter, which not really drawn to blue type highlighters, but could be a great lid shade. And then up here you have your eyeshadows. The reason I put this palette into my yearly favorites is because of this shade right here. I use this as a bronzer, and it is one of my favorite bronzer shades. It is a beautiful complement to my particular skin tone. So if you're my shade or a little bit lighter or even just a tad bit browner, this might actually work for you well. So wanted to bring that one up. We're jumping into high-end eyeshadow palettes, and this year I really came to love Huda Beauty. I loved the Coral Obsessions palette. This is what the front of that looks like. And when you open it up, you've got a little mirror up top, and then you have these divine shades on the inside. I cannot tell you how many times I reach for this palette, how many times it's just a no-brainer. I can either use just the mattes alone or put the shimmer alone or both. This is just a great everyday palette. I loved it. Obviously, you can see the shimmers that I really enjoyed. You only have 2 shimmers in here to work with. So I think that's another reason why I really love it. Keeps the guesswork down, especially on a busy morning when I'm getting ready for work. I don't have time for a whole bunch of anything. It's like move it through. You grab one of the 2 and you move out the door. And it's a great, it's great on my skin tone. Next up, I have the Huda Beauty Nudes palette. A couple months back, like 2 months ago, she released the nude light, medium, and think dark or deep. And I just picked up the light palette. When I saw it, I knew right away this was the one that I wanted. I wasn't interested in the other tones just because I have so many shades that are similar and I don't reach for those on a regular basis, but I knew I'd reach for this. And I was right. I put this to work. Okay, next up is going to be the Dose of Colors palette that I got in, I think, a BoxyCharm. I don't know if this is a collaboration or anything, but it doesn't look like it. Just beautiful packaging. I love the packaging of this palette. It's so beautiful. And the shades on the inside are very complimentary to the packaging. Love this. I mean, this green, geez, like bluish green, is so pretty. But anywho, this is my other favorite for the year. I'm gonna include the Pure Festivals palette. I took this on every vacation that I went on this year, and I went on 4 vacations this year. So it really shows you that I enjoyed this palette. It came in my, I think it came in a BoxyCharm actually, and here it goes. It just had some fun pops of color, and I just really enjoyed working with this palette. The mattes are super smooth. The shimmers are glistening and beautiful. So this particular palette was fun. Lots and lots of fun. Loved it. 2 that are new to my collection but became favorites pretty quickly, mostly because of the quality. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Sublime palette. It's the one that was like 28 bucks. Super inexpensive, but gorgeous. Okie doke. So next on the list is going to be the Apricot Teeny palette, I think this is, and this is from Viseart. It was one of their little tiny releases that they did, the little, you know, minis. Their Petite Pros is what they call them. And this is super cute. There's 2. There's one that's like real colorful, and then there's this one that's a little bit more neutral. I picked up the neutral one. This is definitely something that is right up my alley and I would gravitate toward. Really gorgeous colors in here. Actually, I'm wearing this particular palette today. Next up, this is probably my favorite. Out of all of the ones that I'm mentioning here, this hands down is number 1. And this is the Jackie Aina palette with Anastasia Beverly Hills. This was the collaboration that she had with them. And most of us would be familiar with this palette by now. It had the gorgeous crocodile shiny kind of packaging on it that has a little bit of iridescence to it, and the mirror up top. But when you open it up, you get these stunning colors. I mean, look at this array of delicious that is taking place right here. I love this. This is my favorite palette of the year. So those are my favorite palettes of 2019. Let's go ahead and jump directly into what's next. Okie doke. Up next is going to be foundations. We're gonna do drugstore. We're gonna just start off with the drugstore products. This year was the year of foundation for me. I tried so many foundations and I think I got some really good payoff. So we're gonna go ahead and just start off with the most economical one. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. It's a medium foundation with golden undertones. It says it's oil free and it comes with a pump. So this one was awesome, really liked it. The shades need to be kind of expanded a little bit, but they're on the right track with the formulation. Next up is gonna be the JOAH Beauty Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation. This foundation shocked the pants out of me. It is so beautiful. This is in the shade Toffee. This was the closest to my match, which is too warm for my skin. So I end up having to use something a little bit lighter and lighten it up just a little bit. But it is a beautiful foundation on the skin. It finishes gorgeous. They too need to work on the shade range. It's the undertone. Like Toffee is a little too warm for me. Doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, I'm not this warm. So they need to kind of expand this a little bit. And then their darkest shade is just one shade over from this. And I'm like, where'd they do that at? This is the Pacifica Alight Clean Foundation. This is beautiful. It wears stunningly. It is a very natural looking foundation, has a beautiful glow to the skin that it provides, but it's not oily. I wore it in the summertime and it wore beautifully. It's gonna wear better if you wear it during the cooler months, in my opinion, if you have oily skin. But if you're a dry skin. Next up is the Dream Urban Coverage by Maybelline. L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. I think this one got an award. This is beautiful. Both of these wear just so well. I took this one on vacation with me the last 2 times I went, and I love wearing this one like as an everyday foundation. We're gonna be moving into the high-end foundations. I loved the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. They released like 44 shades or 50 shades, somewhere in there. And this has the most stunning coverage. Next is one that surprised me. It came in one of my beauty kits. It's the Lock Color Good Foundation. It's actually a BB cream and a foundation in one. Next up is one that you guys heard me talk about several times. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. I'm almost done with that one. And to follow up, I'm gonna bring up the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. I don't know if they sell both of these because I've been actually looking for this one. I actually love this one, the Smashbox 24-Hour over the 15-Hour. Just because you get longer wear out of it. IT Cosmetics CC Cream. This is the SPF 50 color correcting full coverage cream. Comes in this little guy here. It came in one of my beauty kits. Love it. I only have one concealer this year to highlight as my favorite for 2019, and this is the Conceal Contour Highlight and Retouch. This is from Too Faced Born This Way. Guys, love this. I have, let's see, one setting powder here, and this is from Laura Mercier. I have actually discovered quite a bit of awesome primers this year. We're gonna talk about probably my favorite. This is the Illamasqua, let's see, what is this thing called? The Hydra Veil Primer. Good. Next up is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer right here. Actually, I'm wearing this one today. Next up is the Ciate Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I love this for those dewy skin days. Almost dropped it. This is the Unicorn Glow Longwear Primer. Next up, we're gonna kind of run through the blushes, primers, and all of that. We have the BH Cosmetics Glowing in Grease palette. I know you guys heard me talk about this one quite a bit. I love this palette. I wore it a lot. I still wear it a lot. This is what the inside looks like. Okie doke. The Cover FX palette is one of my favorites for 2019. This one came in my BoxyCharm, And this is what it looks like. I'll try to cover that mirror for you guys. You get highlights, you get a bronzer, you get a blusher. I love this one for traveling, especially because you kind of get everything in one. Technically a foundation, but it kind of got roped into the powder, so we're gonna go ahead and mention it. This is the Too Faced Born This Way powder foundation in the shade Sand. This is what the packaging on the outside looks like, and the color looks like this. This is my shade. It is one of my favorite powders. Also was the Essence Brighten Up Banana Powder. I like this one because it's classified as a banana powder, but it actually comes off right between what a banana powder would be and what a translucent powder would be, and it's pressed. I'm actually wearing it today. I love this one. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Loved this bronzer, guys. This one I like using to kind of just warm up my skin. Next up is the Fenty Island Ting Sunstalker Bronzer. This one, as you can see, got lots and lots and lots and lots of use out of. I'm definitely going to hit pan on this one. This is one of my favorites. And let's see, this is the Lottie London Blush Crusher. Looks like that. It's a really pretty shade of kind of like coral and pink together. Let me see, there you go. Let's see, the Ciate London shade. This is the Marbled Light Dusk shade. So pretty. Do you see those marbles, those little veinings in there? It's a little bit of a glow, but it's matte. It's just beautiful. Next up, we have the Ofra Cosmetics. This is the Madison Miller. I guess this was a collab type situation. This is the blush Sweet Stuff. This is actually, I'm wearing a little bit of Sweet Stuff, and I'm also wearing one of my new favorites, the Patrick Ta blush in She's Sincere. Looks like that, but this is what the shade itself looks like. It's what I'm wearing today. Also wearing my favorite bronzer of the year. If I had to give one bronzer a glowing award for 2019, it would be the Natasha Denona. It doesn't have a name, and it's actually a blush from what it's saying on the back, but I use it to bronze, and it's this shade here. Obviously you can tell I love it because it has a very heavy dip in it. Next up, one of my favorites of the year, the Laura Geller New York Gilded Honey highlighter. Right, I can't, this one, I don't know what happened, but it's falling out, but it's so pretty. I'm actually wearing it today. It's my favorite. Next up is one of my favorites. This is Hustler Baby from Rihanna Fenty Beauty. Very pretty. Whenever I want to seriously get some glow, I purchase. This is the Champagne Pop palette with Becca and Jaclyn Hill. Love this one, and Champagne Pop is my favorite. I also really love this blushed copper. So gorgeous. This is the Makeup Revolution Hyaluronic Fixing Spray. It's a hydrating and plumping spray. This was my favorite when it came to setting sprays for my makeup. I'm all out. It's done, and I have to get another one. Next up was the Olay Mist Ultra Hydration Essence. This one is in the energizing category. Looks like this. I have three eyebrow definers. First up is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. Looks like that. Very, very popular. People love it. I am no exception. The Brow Gal, which is by, let's see, Tony Brooks, I guess? I don't know who. Tanya Brooks. Looks like this. There is a cap that has a pencil sharpener on one side and your spoolies on the other side. I actually am wearing this one today, and I like to couple that one with the Billion Dollar Brows, the Perfect Micro Bald Effect Brow Pen. This is in the shade Dark. I got this in a BoxyCharm and I actually really like it. So I couple those two together, and I wear the Anastasia usually alone. So when it comes to eyeliners, I have terrible allergies and my eyes water. So I'm always looking for something that'll stay in place. And this year I really enjoyed the Marc Jacobs eyeliner. I picked up two because they came in the little sample size, and I wanted to see if they were going to be worth it. And they are definitely worth the money. Here is what the packaging looks like in case you want to give it a shot. But that's what they came in. They came in the shade Earthquake, which is the brown. You also get a purple in the shade Purple Rain. Still for 2019, we're looking at the Tattoo Liner from Kat Von D in black. I have not found one better. If you can suggest one, please do so in the comments. I would love to hear your comments on that because this is still my favorite. Next up, we have some mascaras this year. I loved the Too Faced mascara, Better Than Sex mascara, still love it, but I'm all out right now. I did also get a hold of the Damn Girl mascara, looks like this. I have a small one, love it. I'm actually wearing it today. Love the way it separates and volumizes my mascara, or my lashes. Both of them are great. I probably like the Damn Girl just a little bit more, but I also love the Better Than Sex because they both kind of do something different. They both volumize, but one lengthens better than the other. I think the Better Than Sex lengthens better and the Damn Girl feathers better. So there you go. This one I've been enjoying on my lower lash line, but it's also really good on the upper lash line. This is a drugstore product, and this is from CoverGirl. It's the Exhibitionist. This is the waterproof version. This is a unique mascara. Next up, the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. Awesome mascara. You have to get used to the way when you get ready to remove your makeup, it rolls off, but your lashes are intact. So the formulation and the technology behind this mascara works really well. Next up is the, let's see, this is the Ico London. This is the Lash Alert Mascara. This stuff gives you the longest lashes ever. I love it. Last but not least, we have lip products. I have, I think, four favorite lip liners for the year. Number one is a brown. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil, and this is in the shade BFF. It's just a standard brown. I love it. I'm actually wearing it today. It's just a great brown. It's an everyday brown. Next up, and this is Intoxicating by Essence Beauty, like $2.50. I love this shade. Gorgeous, kind of almost not quite Bordeaux, not quite purpley, just kind of somewhere in the middle. I love it. Next up, for red, the days where you just want some extra spice and you want to have a poppin' red lip, this is the shade, let's see, this is the NYX Cosmetics Suede Liner in Spicy. It's really pretty red. And up next is the, let's see, Huda Beauty Lip Contour in the shade Icon. You guys know I love lippies, and I have a lot, so let's run through these really, really fast. Okay, we're not gonna go according to the drugstore or anything like that. We're just gonna move through them, okay? We have glosses, we have liquid lipsticks, we have matte lipsticks, we have all of the categories of lipsticks here, okay? This one is gonna be from Essence. This is the Matte About You matte lipstick. Looks like this, gorgeous. We have the Marc Jacobs lip. This is a, that's not a lipstick. It's called Sugar Sugar. It's a lip gloss, looks like that. I wore this thing constantly, love it. And from Pat McGrath, I love all of her lip glosses, but this one is in the shade Bronze Temptation, looks like that. From MAC, we have the shade Bated Breath. I think it's a weird name, but it looks like this. It is a stunning brown, everyday brown shade. I wore this to work constantly. One of my favorites, and I could not take this thing off. I mean, every day I wore this for like 3 months straight, and people would stop me and say, what do you have on your lips? It is the shade Squad Goals, and this is from Joa Beauty. Looks like this. So gorgeous. And for the sake of time, guys, obviously I'm not swatching because we don't have that much time, okay? We want this video to be a million years, and we're obviously gonna break it up at this point. As far as my favorite reds this year, I wore the shade, well, does it have a name? I don't think it has a name, guys, but this is the red cream lip satin, blah, blah, blah. This is the red cream lip satin from Sephora. Looks like this. It is just the most stunning red. Next up, from the brand Ofra Cosmetics, I love their little trio that you can get from Ulta for like 20 bucks. All three shades are stunning, but my favorite is gonna be Unzipped and Sanibel, which are these two here. That's a weird little thing I just did with my finger, but there you go. These two are great, but I also really like this one too. So Next up are, is a favorite. This is a recent favorite. It's called Lucky Strike, and this is from ColourPop. It is kind of a muted mauve shade. I love it. And next up is another mauve type shade. This one just came from Stila. Love it. Look at this shade, guys. It is so gorgeous. I mean, wow. It is called Palomero. And my hands down favorite lip gloss formula of the year, it's from Buxom. Any shade, you can give it to me. I've already used up 2 tubes of this. I love these. This is in, these particular shades are Sophia and Claire. I love them. And one of my favorites, I would say this is number 2, my second favorite. This is going to be the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. From Juvia's Place, Soil is the liquid lipstick shade. I love this shade. It is almost perfect. It's kind of like a terracotta shade. A throwback, which is from L'Oreal. It's Pink Cashmere. Just a gorgeous everyday. And a favorite that came in a beauty kit is called Sweet Emotion. It's from the brand Context. And it looks like this. Also a very great, an everyday kind of brownie shade. Comes off a little even nudie. I love it. And another throwback. This is Smoked Peach from Revlon. Looks like that. Love this shade. Great everyday nude. And the one that I'm wearing today, and I think that might be it too, guys. Oh my God. This is from the brand Bite Beauty. It's called Caramelized. If you have an opportunity, get it before they go, because this one is stunning. They are discontinuing these and they're currently $12. So I forgot to mention one thing, and so I'm gonna go ahead and mention it because I actually did really love it and I used it all year long and it's gone. I used it up. This is from Flower Beauty. It is their medium deep concealer in Light Illusion. Light Illusion is the name of the concealer itself. The tone is medium deep. Love this. I use it to spot conceal. So guys, that is it. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with one for hair and I'll be back with one for skincare. Leave your comments below and I will see you guys in another one. Catch you later. Bye.